Hello, my cosmic friends, my Gaia witches and warlocks. There's going to be quite a mix of energy today in this collective reading. So here we are with me, Cindy, your antenna from the cosmos. That's simply what I am. I'm here for the ride, just as you are. I hadn't planned on doing any readings today, but it's quiet around the house. My son is out for the day. And it's quite rainy and kind of blah here. And I kept hearing just the word collective, collective, collective in my mind. And I thought, well, you know what? It actually feels, the energy feels good about doing a collective reading. Like I was sort of feeling kind of called or drawn to do that. And I felt kind of inspired to do it. So I thought, yeah, it feels really good to do that. So I came up to my table and I kept seeing the fairy deck. And I kept hearing, you guts to find us. You guts to find us. And I thought, I don't know where they are. Because I didn't. Because I've reorganized my table. And I haven't touched them in months. Which is probably why they're being kind of mischievous. Thinking, well, you ain't touched us. You guts to find us, ladies. So I went exploring and I finally found them. And I was kind of shuffling the deck and all sorts of stuff was coming out. And this one I kept seeing. What's at the bottom here? Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. So this is the deck that I felt like I was being called to use with the fairies. But I thought it seems so different because the fairies to me just feel like they're, when you're going to see in a second, I don't even know if you could see that, what came out to help guide me to what I should use. So this is going to be a premiere, so y'all can chat live in the reading. This is going to kind of unfold in front of all of us as it does for me. I'm not really sure where it's going or what the theme of the overall message is going to be. I guess you'll have a better idea of that because there'll be a title to this, you know, when it comes out. But I just thought, that's a strange combination. Actually, who's at the bottom of the fairies right now? Undressing of a salad. Isn't that interesting? Because that just feels like a whole group of ingredients and then kind of pulling it apart and finding all the interesting dynamics. Oh, there's a cherry tomato. There's some arugula. There's some lettuce. There's a crouton. So I thought, well, that's interesting. So I'm going to do a reading with the fairies and the starseed oracle deck. You know, the fairies being very old, earthly energy, and obviously the starseed oracle deck being very cosmic, blending these two energies together. So then I was compelled to go to my goddess deck, and I'm just going to shuffle and see what's coming out for me to kind of guide me towards this collective reading. And two cards like instantly flew out, and they were face down, so I didn't know what they were until I flipped them up. We have Gaia, Earth, and Mama Kila, the moon. I thought, oh my God, it literally is. It's like that earthly energy, and it's the cosmos with the moon. So yes, I'm getting a confirmation that that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, I didn't even look at the bottom again. Métis, wisdom. Wow. So this is also connecting to a much more indigenous kind of energy that's coming through that as well. So I'm going to put everything back. I'm going to put everything back and I'm going to shuffle. Okay, no, please don't know. Keep Earth and the moon out. All right, we will keep Earth and the moon out. We're not going to use that deck. That deck was just used to confirm. Okay, I am hearing though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the fairies and I'm going to see there's a main fairy energy that's going to come through in this reading, and then there's some sort of starseed energy that I'm supposed to shuffle through here and start building up this message. So again, I don't know where this is going. I'm just being called to do it, so I'm doing it. All right, we're looking for the fairy. There's obviously a fairy in here, the energy of a fairy that has been calling. Oh, we have two. We have the fawn and we have Faf the footer. The fawn and Faf the footer. Wow, interesting. We have this blue and kind of earthly energy again. The blue and earthly energy. The fawn is sitting with the moon, and Faf the footer is going to sit with Earth, with Mother Gaia. At the bottom, again, we have undressing of a salad. All right, I'm going to get into the fairy book a little bit. Faf the footer, though, always talks about, for me, just intuitively, I mean, it's obvious, he's massaging his feet, and I do get all this sense, particularly with it sitting under Earth, Gaia, of like grounding yourself into the earth. Ooh, now I see what's happening here. And the fawn works in a very intuitive level here. Just seeing a fawn through the woods, through the forest. But apparently the fawn, perhaps maybe unknown to us, is actually navigating through the stars and the energy of the moon. And this guides the fawn towards its destination, the moon. There was a lot of strong feminine energy that was kind of just, I could feel it sitting into preparing myself for this reading. So grounding yourself, but yet allowing yourself to be guided through the energy of the moon, of the cosmos, your intuition. Birthing something. Why does that keep coming up? Gaia is birthing something. Okay, Gaia is birthing something. I'm literally getting, it's so funny because he's rubbing his feet. And when I took my dog Lily for a walk, this is how things come in as messages to me too. They relate to things that I'm experiencing and I connect it to other things. Is I get like a Charlie horse. I got a Charlie horse in my foot when I was sliding on. I have these long like rain boots. So you have to arch my foot and then kind of pull up. And it caused a Charlie horse in the bottom arch of my foot. And it was funny because as I was doing that, and I got my foot out and then I kind of flattened out my foot and massaged it and my calf a bit. Those two will tighten up. Is I never had that problem in my entire life until I got pregnant. And then I would wake up at some point in my stage of pregnancy. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have this intense cramp in my calf and my foot, this Charlie horse, to the point where it felt like my calf was going to rip. It's just so intense. I would get out of bed and I'd have to try to flatten out my foot because it would just like involuntarily cramp in the wrong direction. And I thought, you know, isn't that funny? These are all the wonderful gifts that you get going through pregnancy, and some of these things you get to hang on to them. Like that never happens to me when I'm sleeping. But something like that, if I arch my foot in the wrong way, I will get like, I will produce this cramp. And it's so intriguing because I feel like I'm talking to feminines that are about to birth. Again, it keeps coming through. I don't know. I'm just here for the ride, guys. These messages, I am literally just the antenna, the oracle. But that's exactly because I'm seeing someone who's, you know, circulation can get difficult towards the end of a pregnancy, rubbing your feet. I don't know very many pregnant women that could actually lift their foot up like that at a later stage. And Mother Gaia is pregnant here in this image, and the moon governs the cycles of most women's reproductive system, and the fawn is about to give birth. That is also very true for many animals that obviously, particularly, we're talking about fawn. So the breeding season of that animal would have been in the fall, the rut. And I'm in North America, I'm in Canada, so that's the cycle here. It would have been in the fall, and they're getting ready for spring. The undressing of a salad. is at the bottom. There's so much birth about to take place. I need to keep, seeing where this goes. So this is so intriguing. There's something so significant about the little people about to be born right now. Wow. This is something that is in conjunction with Mother Earth and the moon. This is very divine feminine energy coming through to speak at this time. Okay. What do we get from the cosmos? From the starseed? Well, that's a lot. Okay. I'm guessing it might formulate a bit of a sentence. The void. Lifting the veil. That's been coming through too. I remember soul plan. The fated life versus the destiny life. Wow. This is, of course, also relating to, on a very spiritual sense, about to birth something new within yourself. And that is very strong. Actual physically giving birth here, there's something very significant about that. But there's also something very, very significant about what people are about to birth of themselves, within themselves. And I've seen this pool of water. It's again, I'm sorry if it's too graphic for some, but it's life. If you've ever spent time on a farm or witnessed someone close to you give birth, it's what happens. It's just all this fluid. And even here, like she's picking up, it's almost like a birth sac, like coming out the way she's positioned. It's very intriguing. This has become so literal, this birth. This has become so literal. Remember your soul plan. So you are birthing your soul plan. The moon here, this would be the energy that I feel like is holding that within. The fawn is representing, again, the feminine birthing a seed. It's almost as if a seed that was planted in the autumn is about to, it has grown, it has gestated, and it is about to be born in the spring here. The void. This is almost as if you could imagine yourself, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. No way that it says that. I was about to say that if you could imagine yourself being born, when you were born, going through the birth canal and not knowing, not really knowing. Along for this ride, you have just spent 9 glorious months in your liquid life and everything is provided for you, your warmth, vibrational energy, yeah. And then here, all of a sudden, these intense contractions and you're moving. So intense contractions. You might even be going through periods of time right now where you're feeling pain or muscle spasms. Gosh, yeah. That's interesting. Like these contractions, you are birthing something here. In winter, we're coming out of winter. I'm recording this on the last day, right? The last day of winter. Tomorrow's the first day of spring. Damn, that's crazy. And then look what happens. Lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Wow, this is a pretty intense way of seeing. It's almost as if, imagine a newborn child being born with all of the knowing who they are, knowing where they've come from, knowing what the cosmic plan is, knowing what their path is, and having full physical capacity to initiate it. Like not being born helpless and, someone needing to change a diaper and teach you how to walk and feed you. It's just everything must go. Question, coming out of the void. You're coming out of the void. You could literally be experiencing contractions. And it could be, some of you could be feeling like just weird muscle spasms, perhaps in the abdominal region. Some of it was the foot. But I think that was brought on by the way I was arching So that could be movements that you are doing within yourself right now that might be causing pain. These are signifying something to you. It's almost like you're being pulled apart. The fated life versus the destiny life. You've all walked onto some sort of path here, and it's fate. You were meant to walk on it. You were meant to walk into this wooded area. You were meant to be impregnated by something of spirit. And now you were about to carve your destiny with it. And see, that's where you start carving over here, is questioning everything. Question it. Don't doubt yourself. Go with it. Believe it. No, you cannot make a mistake right now. The biggest mistake that you could make right now, I feel like, for the collective, is to doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself. You are going through the great cosmic womb. Goodness gracious. Gaia here. Big pregnant Gaia, like the Empress, about to birth. Wow, and this is only getting started. I have a lot. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk. I have a lot. I feel like there's a lot more to pull out here. Double mission, closing off a portion of your life and starting a new part of your life. Light worker starseed, serve the world by being you. So you cannot serve the world a messenger. Oh, no way, guys. I feel like a lot of you are about to become messengers for people around you. And how you exhibit as a messenger, you may take up poetry. Maybe you'll write songs or create artwork. Maybe you're a divinator yourself or an oracle. Maybe you are going to pick a path of a choosing of a path for your life. And by choosing that path, you will inspire others. You will make others question you. You will make others question themselves and their belief systems. Wow, messenger. Okay, wait, that was underneath. So double mission. Light worker starseed, serve the world by being you. And you're about to birth into that. You are feeling contractions here. Oh, I'm getting like a weird tingle. Like it's a gentle in my calf, as I said that, like a gentle spasm. I feel like, so now I just finished reading the book, The Nest. I don't know if you read it. It was good. It was like a big juicy hamburger loaded with toppings and with a side of onion rings and a full-on Coca-Cola. Like it was like there was nothing haphazard about this. The book, The Nest. So without getting into too much about it, siblings, and one of them was living a very reckless and uncontrolled life. Anyways, there's one woman at the end who is overdue. And this is the message I'm getting. If some of the muscle contractions and spasms, I just seeing him rubbing his foot with the pregnancy makes, yes. If you were getting some sort of twitches, even like, you know, like sometimes you could get a twitch above your eye, depending on the severity of these feelings, muscle spasms or aches, that literally the depth, the degree of the contraction is represented by an overdue. You are overdue. It's going to hurt. And it's coming in. I literally saw, I think her name was Stephanie in the book, and she was overdue. And all of a sudden it hit her hard. Her water just broke. And immediately she was hit with a very intense contraction in the story that I just finished reading. And the baby was born within like minutes. They didn't even, the ambulance didn't even get there. She called her doctor and he just said, I'm calling the ambulance now. Like, you're not going to get to the hospital. But she just went through, and then anyone I know who's gone through a very fast birth, it is intense because it's like everything that you would experience drawn out that may have been a little more subtle. This is just like boom, 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 boom. So I am getting like some of you are overdue. So if you feel like you're going through a little more than even what you could handle, you've got to purge this. You've got to let it birth out of you. Because you're about to come up to some calling here. Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance, the messenger. You have a calling here and you cannot move into this position with this new calling that you have, however this shows up. Perhaps you want to do charity work, perhaps all those other things I talked about that could be ways of being a messenger here. There's still something. I feel like there's still something very particular, specific, that's, I feel very strongly from messages that already came out. And the last collective I'll do at the end of this video, you'll see a suggested video. I'll make it that one so you can go back and watch that one if you haven't. This one feels like it's talking to you as the collective, that you are also in sync, you are synchronized with some sort of event that is occurring somewhere on Mother Earth, of the birth of a generation that the veil is almost not even there. There's one in particular that will serve as a messenger. Now, I feel like, though, that all of you are being asked to rise up to this. It really feels like that, like you're being asked to rise up, because in a way, like, I'm serving as a messenger. Obviously, that's just such an it's so obvious. I'm sitting here and I'm conveying a message to you, but like in some way I serve whatever this is that is coming after me, right? I'm preparing that, as did other generations have served, by making what I do not seen as a mortal sin, and bringing back sort of the connection that pagans and pretty much all indigenous cultures around the world have always embraced and understood and moved through. So this is what you, I feel, are about to be asked to do, lifting this veil. But to lift your veil, it's gonna hurt. I'm hearing it's gonna hurt, because you're going through the cosmic womb. You're feeling the contraction. Let's pull, okay, let's just keep going. There's, yeah, no specific spread here. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Oracle. Oh, that didn't go well. Interesting. The split is the elephant and the bat. And if you know me, the bat symbolizes ancestral guidance. The elephant is a great symbol of going through the darkness, and you can only see maybe that little dot of light. This is intense. I feel like a real intense energy. Okay. Half the footer with Mother Gaia. The black egg. Yes, be prepared. You are going to be, not until you've gone through it, though. You have to earn this. You have to go through this birthing process. You cannot dig out the truth of the cosmos without digging out false truths within yourself. So there is an egg, a black egg. Yeah, there's so many messages that have come through for me already, like the Ukrainian Easter egg, the messenger that's being born. I'm opening myself up to say, if anything, no, this is just, it's literally like this message, guys, is so specific to you right now. And I know I've done collectives where it hasn't really felt like that, like you've been given information about something sort of broader or happening outside of you. But now I feel like this is how the universe, your guides, are trying to talk to you about how you connect to the messages that I've already relayed that have come forward. The black egg, this is coming out of you. It's coming out of you. Wow, some of the images that I'm getting are so graphic. This is a very graphic reading. I mean, just talking about, where did that go? Oh yeah, like the breaking of the amniotic fluid. And then just here, it's almost like she's pulled out a birth sac, like she's birthed something. So I'm getting with the black egg, it's important that you get this out. Now, okay, the visual that I'm getting, because I love watching Dr. Pol. Did you ever watch him? He's great. The guy's great. He's a Scorpio too, and probably the only sign that I know at that age could keep doing what he's doing. It's just like, he's in there, he's down and dirty. That guy just keeps going. But I'm getting like, okay, so what came to my mind here is whenever he's been called to a farm, and it's been a cow in a stalled labor, and it's usually a race against the clock to get that calf out before it dies. A, they want to save the calf for the farmer, and B, they don't want it to stay in there too long if it's actually died, because it will eventually kill the cow. But this, okay, so this is so interesting because this black egg is feeling almost like stinky and rotten. The black egg feels stinky and rotten, like a black egg. It's gone bad. There's some sort of truth inside you that you're not looking at. There's something that's become stinky and rotten, and it's manifesting right now. It's trying to be birthed. It's trying to ask you to release it. It's asking you to release this. If you don't, it's going to manifest into something. It's going to manifest into some type of ailment, like a literal physical ailment, as it would, like, if the cow did not birth, you know, picturing an egg, but what would be inside her is an unborn fetus. And I did see one episode where a cow died. You know, if you've got an animal with a stalled labor, you call Dr. Pol right away. I learned that. You don't wait. Go call right away, because it goes bad quick. So the calf ended up being dead for days inside the cow, and she was bloated. Like, there was gas. It was horrible. I'm sorry, it's very graphic, but this is what I'm getting. I'm just the oracle. So if you're having lunch, I'm sorry. But yeah, like it manifests. It creates something within you. And if you think about that, if there's something that you were lying about yourself, yeah, I can think about even when I was much younger, in my early to mid 20s, and trying to kind of like pigeonhole myself into what I thought like I was supposed to be. Everyone around me expected me to be a certain way, and I didn't see any concept beyond that of what I should be, except I often felt like I was stuffing something down in myself. It was a weird feeling, like I was kind of like stuffing something down of me. And there was a lot of things that I used to like go through, just like physical ailments, but they just manifested in different ways. Yeah, but then when you start to release this, you'll notice that you start to feel better. So something's been stuffed down here, and you have a mission though. It's almost as if the earthly realm has encapsulated you in somehow. So now this black egg looks like a capsule, and it's a slow release. Like a capsule sitting inside you. But this doesn't feel like medicinal. Yeah, it does have that feeling, you know, like thinking of Neo in the Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill. Like having taken a capsule and needing to purge it. Because you have a mission coming up for you. There's a way that you're going to live your life. There's a way that you're going to express yourself. But you will not be able to do it if you still contain things from the past here within you. Okay, the fawn with the moon. And the fawn is free, most. The fawn and the swan, they kind of rhyme. And the wolf. Ooh, that's an interesting combination. Hunted. Both these animals, the fawn and the swan, would be the prey of the wolf. That's fascinating. The wolf, to me, is coming through as an emperor. So the wolf energy will track you, hunt you. The emperor. Continue to to want you to play the game that serves the wolf. Ah, smoke and mirrors. Okay. The swan, I'm just seeing the swan moving very gently and slowly, almost in a state of a freeze frame, gliding across water that's like glass, right? And the reflection of the swan is also shown here. Because this, I'm literally seeing the wolf is confused. So if you are reflecting your true self, you... Okay, so here, I'm going to kind of bring this down because I got it in my head and I'm trying to figure out how I can articulate it to you to make it really well understood and make it kind of make sense in your everyday lives. Okay, so if there's inner truths within you, parts of yourself that you've stuffed down over the years to fit into certain stereotypes, certain expectations, releasing these, bringing them out so that you are now an open channel to receive the truth, like the truth from the universe, from Mama Kila, from the moon, and to bring that to earth and to not only on some level release yourself from false expectations, but to then serve to release others and prepare, like continue to do what past generations have done for us and prepare and make certain things more acceptable and more open to acceptance. Now, if you only do this in the halfway, if you do not completely purge, you will be drawn in. There will be things, it's almost like devil energy in a way, that it will find areas of your life that it knows it can tug on you and it can manipulate you and it can bring you back into the paradigm of the emperor's energy. But when you clearly and honestly and absolutely and unequivocally reflect yourself in any way I show you this card, it looks like the same image. That can't be achieved because there's nothing. No. Oh, as I put that down, the swan is now swimming away from the wolf. Ah, look at that. Isn't that ideal? And what would birth an egg but a swan? This is also very symbolic to me on a personal level. And wow. The timing of that's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to keep the swan going in that direction because that message was relayed to you. So again, I'm giving you these messages because my guides are going to communicate to me through my own experience so that I can connect it and bring it to you. So when the pandemic first started, well, it started, we were hearing, like back in 2019, I guess, like here in North America, I'm in Canada, and hearing word of it, talk of it. I have a friend who's a family doctor, and she was kind of like talking off and on a bit, you know, when we would drop the kids off to school, and in the morning she would talk a bit about it. So we kind of knew something was going on in China and a few other countries, and then just watching the news. But specifically for us here in Canada and most parts of North America, we went into our first like lockdown. It was right like leading into the March break of 2020. And so something really interesting and significant happened on the last day that we dropped the kids off to school. I guess it was that Friday morning. Yeah. And little did we know how drastically things were about to change. And it's interesting how dramatically things have changed since then for so many people. So as we're about to leave, the kids had gone in and I was talking with a couple of other moms, and we were about to leave, and all of a sudden looked up and two big swans flew right overhead, flew right over us. And they were so low. They were incredibly low. And I always felt that those two swans symbolized something had just shifted and changed. Like I just felt it, like there was a change and a shift. And I do remember then I had, it would be the last book club meeting. I just talked about a book club book that I just read, The Nest. Oh my God, The Nest, the swan and the egg. How crazy is that? So we just had, back then, that Friday night, we had the last book club meeting and I hosted it. And everyone was talking about, because I think it had already been said, yeah, well, the schools won't be opening for like a week after March break or 2 weeks after or something like that. I think it was 10 days. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember saying to all of them, this is going to go on a lot longer than that. There's no way this is going to be over in that period of time. And nobody wanted to hear it because nobody likes to hear bad news. Like, I don't care if it's bad news. It's just what I know and what I feel. And of course, well, here we are today. But things are changing quite dramatically. Literally, 2 days from now, where I am, like pretty much most, if not all of the mandates will have been lifted, including masks and everything. But I always felt very strongly that when I saw the two swans again, that would be a symbol of a new cycle. The cycle that is closing off what was started. Which to me, on many levels, I know a lot of people had a lot of difficulty through what was happening in the pandemic, but I never really felt myself at any time that I was supposed to look at that period like something outside of me was controlling what I wanted to do in my actions. I looked at it more as a time to look within myself. I actually still see everything that happens here as something that's governed by beyond Earth, the cosmos, that there are people, places, things that participate in everything that happens around us, but they are still serving the cosmos. There was something here that was meant to happen to you, and you are about to be birthed. The swan is here, and I can't believe that the last book that I just read that symbolizes this is the exact period of time, but 2 years ago. And here are the two swans and the egg, and I just read The Nest. That's crazy. So it's all right here. And you are about to be birthed. So I would even put myself in this reading because there's so much symbolism in here. It's just so fascinating. But I feel like on some level I've served as a messenger to many of you, as have other oracles, obviously throughout the pandemic. But now you are all about to become messengers, and you are swimming away from the wolf. And the wolf, to me, the emperor energy can be quite healthy, but this is false emperor energy. It's coming in as false emperor energy. Prepare yourself for magic. Ooh, the golden egg is behind the unicorn, but the golden egg is in reverse because you are not promised the golden egg until you perform your own magic here. And your magic is birthing yourself. Wow, this is so fascinating. Oh no, okay, keep going. Keep going with the oracle deck down here. I'm hearing. Oh no, keep pulling cards. So, there we go. The two swans have appeared at literally almost exactly to the day 2 years ago when I saw them, and everything changed. Everything's about to change again. And some of you are going to be feeling some serious birthing pains here. I remember soul plan. The fated life versus the destiny life. See, a lot of, okay, understanding your fated life. I just heard the buzzing in my ear has been going crazy during this reading, and it just shifted and went over here. The The fated life, many people will fight this. And many people will fight this because they will be drawn back into what the false emperor is asking of them, what things that they were clinging to in the past, gravitating right back to the same habits and the same things that they were doing prior to the pandemic starting. So you are being asked to not do the same things and not fall into the same patterns and not be enticed by similar things that enticed you and pulled you in prior to the pandemic. So you were given a period of time here to go within, and now is your time to birth. These periods of time that many of us have gone through in periods of isolation, very, very difficult. But this isn't easy. Like, this is not the kind of energy that is just to hand it over to anyone from the cosmos. Oh yeah, here, you can be a messenger now. No, this is something that you have to earn, but you earn it by proving it to yourself. And you can't become this this higher frequency and vibration if you are not able to look within yourself, spend time within yourself, and pull things out and really see what your soul's plan is and really, really look at it. This is hard work. It looks so easy and, fairy tale like with these cards, but I'm telling you, like, even the imagery that I've been getting in this has been pretty raw. Like the breaking of the fluid through birth, an egg not being born, like a stalled labor. People can stall the labor of their rebirth indefinitely through their lives. And you will see this manifest in many people who are quite unhappy. Also, along with the unhappiness is often a lot of physical ailments. Your body is always communicating to you. And it's actually your soul trying to be heard. And that's the difference, is because your body continues to be pulled down. You allow yourself to be pulled down into a lower frequency where your soul is a very high frequency. It's a frequency so high that I have felt, just through my own readings and intuition and putting pieces together, that we actually age. Everything on this planet ages as it does because the frequency is so different as the soul comes into a living physical entity. That the physical cannot sustain that indefinitely, at least not at this point in time in evolution on Earth. But this fated plan for you, you were being asked to carve your destiny. You were being asked not to fall into things that you did in the past, not to be the person you were in the past. Because there's going to be, this is so timely, because as things are opening up everywhere, it is going to be very, very easy for people to fall back into those same patterns, right? I'm already seeing a lot of friends doing that had very, 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 very busy lives, doing so many different things. And then when everything shut down, it was very hard for them to adjust to that. And then at some point, embracing it and spending more time with their family, doing more homemade meals at home. But now I'm already seeing, like, some of them I can't even connect with them because they're so busy again. You're being asked to remember who you are. You saw that. You saw that, who you were in these periods of isolation, of soul growth, of soul discovery. Don't forget who that is, who you were, as everything shifts into movement. We had a great contraction. This is almost like this is the release of that great contraction. And here you are, the great cosmic womb. The soul plan. I remember. You got the bat. Your ancestors will continue to speak to you if you allow them to be heard. Guiding yourself through the darkness. The bat is also symbolic. Who was blamed at the beginning of everything. I remember, and this is how things change, and this is why I will not deviate from what a message is, because I'm not interested in jumping on a bandwagon. That's not what my purpose is. I have to be pure with my message, and you guys are all going to be asked to be pure with your message and what that really is. Because at the beginning of the pandemic, I got shafted online for a reading that I did, talking about how, I know, no, it wasn't a reading, it was a drawing that I had done of a bat, and was talking about, like, please don't badmouth the poor bat, because the bat is a beautiful, wonderful creature. It is the only mammal on the planet that can truly fly. You've got flying squirrels, but they do not truly fly. The bat is the only mammal that can do that. That in itself is magical. The amount of insects that so many bats eat in a night is astronomical. They are part of Gaia, and it just felt very wrong that people will project and point blame. And here it is, to stand proud. And I remember people say, oh, your channel's going down. You can't post something like that. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? The bat is not something. And then it became my symbol of guidance. And here it is for you. Remember your fated life. People will, it's not easy. People are going to perhaps attack you, as I was attacked when I put my drawing of the bat up and tried to reassure everyone how wonderful this little creature was, and it had nothing to do with mankind's problems. Mankind has everything to do with mankind's problems. You and I have everything to do with most of our own problems, and how we perceive them even as problems. Are they obstacles, or are they opportunities to grow? The void. The void, the great cosmic womb. The void, the great cosmic womb. Oh my God, look at this. The earthworm. No way. Did we just have it? Did I miss it by a day? I did post about the full worm moon. Oh, and that comes from the Farmer's Almanac. And if I read correctly, Farmer's Almanac, as well as, I can't remember. Was it the Métis? No. It was one of the indigenous tribes in North America that kind of called this moon, this full moon that we experienced, the worm moon, because the earth was waking up. Get out of town. And we just called, get out of town. Get out of town, man, because this is Embrace Winter, which we have just done. And then great cosmic womb. So this earth, the full earth moon worm, it's hard to say. It symbolized to the indigenous people this moon, this full moon, that earth was thawing, that the ground was releasing, that life was coming back. And it has been. Here where I am, there's been robins and red-winged blackbirds. They're all coming back again. And here you are. If you have felt tied up and constrained, you're about to be released. But remember who you are. Don't get caught up in the things that you were caught up in the past with. Remember who you are. And then it's all knotted up like a contraction about to be released. Oh, what's all that? I don't know. The oyster and the owl. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. It's interesting when she's parting this drapery, the veil here, what can only be seen is this planetary energy in the cosmos, and actually Earth in its entirety and purity. And then on either side of the veil is man-made structures, skylines here, if you can see that. Again, it is not to get caught up in what you were caught up in the past. Many people will go right back into what they were doing before. But you, my friends, are being called to remember. And this is so timely that it literally is just speaking to you about moving forward now, taking your steps forward. But remember, don't fall back. Swim away from the wolf, but you will only swim away from the wolf when you are reflecting who you truly are outwardly. the wolf won't even go there. Won't even go there. Because so often there was something really profound in that book, The Nest. I really liked it. I thought there was so much symbolism in it. It wasn't an award-winning book by any, but I don't necessarily have to read those. I really like this book. And there was two twins in the story, and they weren't identical. They were girls, and one had discovered that she was a lesbian, that she liked other girls, and she was having a relationship with another girl named Simone. And she was having I can't remember the other girl's name, who was coming to all these realizations. But Simone said something really profound to her, because she was having difficulty coming forward about being this way, which was really interesting because she had an uncle who was gay. But I guess people have always expected her to be like her twin. And she had always expected herself to be like her twin. And it was really profound. And it kind of actually, I recently posted something in my community channel as we're going into Aries season, and I'm about to turn 50 in a few days. And it was really about your truth, because often people, you don't need to be the mirror that people want to look at to relate to. And that's what people do. Like, why do people project? People are not projecting on you, on me, on other people, most of the time to be negative, or to be hurtful, or to think I'm going to constrain that person and make them live the life that I want them. Some people might. There are people that will do that. But a lot of people will project because they're just looking for themselves in the world. They're still trying to find themselves. So if you are something that they cannot project upon, that they're going to see you clearly. And if they are in alignment with who you are, right? Question everything, anything unaligned must go. Then you will find a new friend. You will find a path that someone will walk down the path with you. You will find your kinship. You will find perhaps ancestors that you are yet to meet, or at least in this lifetime. But if you are projecting yourself completely and wholly, and people realize that, they can't project themselves onto you and see that reflection, ask you to reflect that back to them, right? Like, just needlessly agreeing with people because the sake of doing that. Well, you're not really living your truth. You're living the truth that somebody wants you to live with them so that they can feel comfortable in their own lie. You swim away from it. They swim away from you because they can't. They need to look at themselves. That's the only, it's pure and it's simple and it's beautiful, really. So let's look at the veil. Did not the golden egg hatching, going from the black egg to the golden egg. This is so beautiful. No longer rotten, pure, golden. Ugh, alchemizing. Holy shit, that was alchemy. Taking the base of everything within you and alchemizing it into pure gold. Actually, gold is worth a lot right now. It's like $2,000 a gram, or whatever they measure it. The unicorn's at the bottom again. Oh my God, how beautiful was that? Before I was finished, the unicorn was here as your underline. Use your magic. But the golden egg was upside down behind it. You've just popped it out. We've popped it out with your magic. The hawk is going to guide you out of your raccoon stage. And you are going to have a rebirth with the phoenix. And that's it. Oh. This reading is so cool. I love this. There it is. All that magic. The universe is swiftly taking you there, taking you out of this period of isolation, darkness, self-reflection. For some of you, it's going to feel a little bit painful because maybe you're behind a bit, but that's okay. You're on your own timeline, honestly. I mean, we're behind a bit only in terms of where I feel like this is leading us right now. But everybody's on their own timeline, and you're on those timelines for a particular reason. Like, if you were not, see, behind a bit, maybe that, I shouldn't even say that. You could feel behind a bit in terms of maybe some people around you, right? So don't compare yourself in that way, because you are meant to come up in your timing. Because there's probably people that you're meant to interact with, whatever this part of you is going to be in its whole entirety and purity at that time period for other people. And rising up with the phoenix, being reborn. What a strong theme here. The golden egg. I didn't even go into the book with it. I thought I would. I feel like I didn't even breathe through that reading. I'm just sitting here asking if there's anything, actually just trying to be open. If there's another deck, or if this is it. This is the reading. I'm hearing yes, this is the reading. There you go. That's what you got. Wow. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that exciting? So, actually, I do want to say too, like if you are going through some physical ailments, you should at least see a doctor. You should always check that as well. There's a reason that we do have modern medicine as well. Homeopaths, all that stuff. So, you know, make sure that's okay as well. Thank you so much, my friends. My starseed, earthly Gaia, moon, Mamakila energies. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.